You're so far away.
I know. we messed with the energy a little bit.
But I'm working so hard on living in the present that I actually like change sort of doesn't faze me anymore. It's like,
No, your shoulders are back. You are holding yourself with confidence.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I think that side of the couch suits you.
wait, can I just say something? Because you mentioned my shoulders.
Sure.
And I did famously go on a date a couple nights ago, and he likes my shoulders a lot.
Okay.
Like, he kept being like, I love your shoulders. I'm like,
Did he say what specifically about your shoulders he liked?
Our guest
Was it the
is
fact that it was
foaming at the mouth.
was it the fact that it was the only part of your body exposed at the time?
A lot of my body was exposed.
Okay.
At this point in time.
I just didn't know if it was like just locked in on your flesh.
No one. He's
specifically.
mentioned them since.
You do have good shoulders.
I never noticed my shoulders before, but now they're my favorite body part.
Well, towards the end of the app, you can give us a little
I'll give
something.
little cheeky.
Yeah, if we behave.
If we behave,
Yeah.
yes. And if Chase is comfortable with that.
Oh, well,
Oops.
speaking of
And
whom.
speaking of which.
So we're new to this, by the way.
So we actually forgot about how we're on a podcast.
Yeah. Me giving a preamble, we're going to talk for a little bit and then introduce
And
you.
it's going to be the classic thing where we don't know that there's a guest and nobody knows.
Sure.
But everyone knows.
Well,
now.
spoiler alert,
No.
we got more fresh blood for the floundering crowd.
It's me.
It's me.
It's
Hi.
me. Hi.
Last
I'm
time
actually not the problem.
No.
Just write that down.
It's us.
It's me.
Oh, it's always-
It's me. It's
Yes.
me.
It's always
Perfect.
been us.
Wasn't that a good Elphaba impression just
Yeah.
then?
It was really good.
Thanks. Our guest is amazing. Super funny comedian.
Okay, keep going. And then me
And-
next, actually.
And we're recording
Do
this
her
on
next.
we're recording this on a Thursday because we couldn't do it on Wednesday because Chase has an amazing mic that he hosts here in Brooklyn.
Yes.
And
Oh,
sorry.
fuck. Sorry.
My favorite thing to do is get mad at our guests.
Yeah.
The two that we've had. Anyway, please welcome to your ears, Chase Hoffman.
Woo!
Yay! Thank you so much for having me.
Stuck the landing.
I'm so
We are
excited.
thrilled that you're here. And I do want to say that our first auspicious meeting was at Carey's birthday party.
Yes. Yeah,
in
yeah.
her
That was such a
backyard.
fun party. That
And I
was such a
did
good
feel
time.
magnetically pulled to you the
I'm
whole
doing
time.
like a
Magnetically
Godfather
pulled to you,
type
too.
situation where the people who came to my party get to come on the podcast.
Are the ones who get killed
They're the
first,
chosen
yes.
ones.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, they're favored.
No, that's okay. That's perfect. Well, we could be sacrificed in favor of
Sure.
your glory.
Yeah. After this, we do our blood ritual.
Yeah. Well, we signed papers. And of course, for those who haven't listened, we do, quick blood oath, touch
Mhm.
tips. And by tips, I do mean fingertips.
Fuck.
Sorry.
Damn it.
Easy. It's fingertips. Sign the papers.
Isabel's entire family listens to this.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's like
okay,
truly
got
my
it.
mom who's going to be like,
Okay.
God damn it.
You're always mentioning tips.
My whole family did have to sit me down. And at one point they were like, hey, look, enough with the pee-pee talk.
With the
Like,
baby
No, but
talk,
you were
yeah.
unpacking your childhood.
Yeah. I was like, I
Mm.
think Freud would be thrilled that I'm engaging in this discussion.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is exactly
Hey.
what he wanted with his work.
That is.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, here we are.
How was everyone's trip here? Because I have a few observations that I'd like to share.
Please.
Oh, well, by all means, kick us off.
Kick us off,
I
Isabel.
was just like, I am bored. I would literally rather be anywhere else. Well, I've realized that I have two genders of Ubers when I come here. It's either Uber that smells fine and is appropriately temperatured with a very talkative driver,
Yes.
or one that is 117 degrees with the smell of lunch baking in the cotton
Yes.
seats and a dead silent
And I've
driver.
actually never been more car sick
Yep.
than in option number 2.
Yes.
Mhm.
No,
That is
exactly.
actually- there's nothing like crawling over the Brooklyn Bridge.
Yes.
You're going 2 miles an
Mhm.
hour, maybe,
Yes.
possibly. It kind of reeks of turmeric
Mhm.
all through the car.
Indeed.
There's no food in sight.
No, none.
And the driver vehemently wishes your death and will not let you roll down the window.
100%. And I will add to this, in this specific flavor of Uber, sometimes they are very loudly on the phone and FaceTiming as well. So they're not talking to you, which is, I think, what I'm confronting in the other car, which is like the temperature and the vibe is very nice, but they're talking to me,
Right.
which I don't prefer.
Well, they set up the vibe so that, you're comfortable enough to open up.
Yeah. Right, exactly. It's like, how's the temperature? Good. And, like,
and
my air freshener
nice.
also
Yeah,
good.
Pine.
Yeah, so I'm going to talk to you about my daughter now for 45
So
minutes.
it's going to go ahead and be generational stories dating back, ancestry,
Of course.
I did listen to a few episodes before this, and you have had some harrowing journeys.
Oh boy,
in Ubers.
it's never easy getting here.
Well, also Isabel lives roughly 85 miles from the studio.
Oh, correct. Yeah.
Sure.
So it does take a while.
Why does it take so long to get everywhere within Brooklyn?
I know.
That is something that urban planners actually need to get on Toot Sweet.
For sure. Toot Sweet.
Toot Sweet.
Yeah.
And I think we know about Toot Sweet.
Gonna bring it back to Toot Sweet, of course.
To kind of circle back on the Toot Sweet.
Yeah.
Well, we have, and of course, bleep this, Robert Moses to blame for all of our strife.
Oh, of course.
Every trip within Brooklyn is the Oregon Trail, our own.
Yes.
Totally.
Yes, absolutely. Walking here, my hands freezing, holding a box from Roberta's.
Also,
freezing.
I don't know about you guys, but when I go home, my Uber drivers usually take Nostrand. And what's going on with Nostrand? Why is that not a road?
I don't even know. Whenever I'm coming back from like Park Slope, Gowanus, Clinton Hill, even for some reason the Uber always goes down like Atlantic Avenue, and it always has to go under the train tracks through some windy little turn lane.
Thank you for saying that.
That gets me where? To Halsey Street?
Sure.
I don't even like her music that much.
No.
I'm like, enough
She's
with her.
omnipresent.
Yeah. No, this is her marketing campaign. It's just rerouting Ubers to that street.
Yeah, absolutely.
On the note of the twisty track, does it not always feel like you're going into the wrong side of traffic?
No, it
when you
absolutely
do
does.
that? I'm
It
like, there's
absolutely
no like arrow indicating that I'm in the right place.
There's always kind of a parked car
Absolutely.
just on the concrete pillar.
Yes.
Just kind of next to it.
Yeah.
Right, totally.
But we're here.
They don't make it easy for us to be podcasters here in Brooklyn.
No, literally. They actually actively impede us.
Right. Which honestly is probably like a good thing. Maybe they could have more like little scavenger hunt things, obstacles for us.
Yeah,
to
it's like
sort
our
of
own little
overcome.
version of like congestion pricing.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to make you
exactly.
work for that, Mike, girl.
But you have to name 5 Halsey songs.
Or else you're stuck
Atlantic
on this
Avenue.
street, Halsey Street, for the rest of your
Unless
goddamn
we're going to rip you out of the Uber, put you on the Long Island Railroad, and we're sending you to Ronkonkoma.
Wow.
And you're never coming back.
Yeah. Those metal plions come up on either side of Halsey Street. It's like, sorry. Name names.
Can't come
Well,
here.
speaking of like podcasting and really what I feel could be the beginning and the end of our podcasting careers is that TikTok is potentially getting banned. And that was sort of our going into this. I thought, well, we'll just post it on TikTok and that's how we'll get famous.
Oh, of course. They have no standards there.
Yeah.
But now we don't have that. So Chase, this is really like,
Now we have to work for it.
So I really got to bring it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I really got to bring it.
Yeah.
And I kind of wish I'd been told ahead of time a little
Of
bit.
course, yeah.
Well,
To,
you could pay attention to the news.
I could, and I have a little bit because we've heard of Red Note, right?
I've heard of
this
it.
new app
Yes.
that's coming about. It's #1 on the App Store right now. Its actual name in Chinese is Xiaohong Shu,
Okay.
which literally translates to, and I'm directly pulling this from my brain, is little red book,
Sure.
because Xiao means little, Hong means red, and Shu means book.
Wow.
So, but
He's
it's
dropping
like,
Toot Sweet.
He's dropping Toot Sweet.
What can't this be?
This is a
Dude,
trilingual
I
podcast.
this is something that I need to confess is I'm like really like fucking good at languages.
Our first
Because
subtitled episode will be today.
really
Yeah,
good
yeah.
at languages, yeah. And so Red Note is like kind of taking over, but it's like a lot of people on Twitter have been like, I'm not calling it X, fuck that. And a lot of people on Twitter have been like, I love that like the TikTok vacuum is being replaced by an app that is infinitesimally more Chinese
Yeah.
than
100%.
TikTok.
No, literally.
No, it's-
We'll find a way to fill the void.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, capitalism is gonna
Of course.
do its thing.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not worried.
I'm not
even
worried
in the
either. I actually
even
don't think
in
they're
the
going to get it.
slightest. No, I don't think
I think
so.
it's a made up little fairy tale that they've constructed.
Yeah, there was another tweet that I saw, and I'm literally just like regurgitating everything I saw online. But
That's
there's
all we do
like
on this
That's all we do.
podcast.
perfect.
I haven't had an original thought
No.
since I've met Carey.
No,
Right. And I haven't
literally.
either. And what happens is that I will say things that other people have said like way better and more
Yes.
interesting. There's like a gnat or something.
I know it
I
traveled from
did
me to
just
you.
see it. It like kind of bopped around.
She's
and
like jealous that we have a guest.
I know. Well, I
Yeah,
was starting to feel like Pigpen over here. I'm like, am I like the
little-
gross smelly cartoon?
No,
with
and then it
Yeah,
came
I'm
over
like,
here.
flies encircling me.
yeah, I'm just like smelfy.
Yeah.
That's what my mom calls it because she saw that on a deodorant commercial.
That's cute
But
as hell.
she's adorable. I love my mom.
I love how moms will go ahead and drop a meme from like 15 years ago and you'll be like,
Yes.
you're right. That is a good one. You did dig it up from the archives,
Totally.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my God. My dad still references like an Allstate commercial that we saw 10 years ago.
but yeah.
Maybe. It's crazy. And it wasn't even good.
Nothing is more humbling to like realize like how broken your brain is when you find yourself laughing at a Progressive commercial. Like every now and then I'll be like, that like now they got something going on.
Yeah.
That flow.
Yeah, well, that's when I'm like walking through Trader Joe's and I know exactly what I'm gonna buy because I'm improving a recipe in my head
Yeah.
as we speak, listening to a podcast. Kind of then I go home
Course.
and I watch my stories and I'm like, oh, I'm old.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm old.
Oh,
Oh, I'm old.
in a major
Like,
way.
We are so like that what you just described is like
Yeah.
how do our brains even work? Like that's so crazy that you can do all those
Mhm.
things at one
Yeah.
time.
At one time.
It's amazing.
Well, yeah. It's crazy. I go home, I watch my little stories, and then that's that.
I've been having these like intense blackout spells recently because I'm so on my phone
Yes.
that I'll find myself in the kitchen blacking in, like turning on the stovetop, and I'm like, the hell? Like, the hell was I doing?
Which
Like,
also blacking in is such a funny way to put it.
Yeah, no,
And
exactly.
it's so accurate.
yeah, 100%. I'm like, I don't want to know what happened, what transpired in between now and then. Like,
Mhm.
presumably I got into the kitchen. I had the thought that I needed to be operating fire.
Mhm.
And my phone is
Yeah.
in my hand and it's like, some stupid little reel about the family in Florida that I'm obsessed with. So,
Yeah, it is crazy like how much of the day goes by. And if you were to ask me like what I did, it's like I think I did a lot, but I think it was maybe my brain was doing a lot of processing of the information that I was constantly giving it.
Yes.
But I actually was sitting fully sedentary the entire day.
yeah. It's like a don't worry, darling.
Yeah.
I'm just like
yeah.
wasting away plugged into something in a bed.
That was a tough movie.
That was a tough
I
movie.
didn't watch it. I'm
And that's
sorry.
okay.
Oh, I just
watch it.
essentially gave away the entire thing. So no worries.
Oh no, I've seen the spoilers.
Oh, okay,
Right,
cool.
I know what happens.
Yeah.
There's like, because if there's a movie I don't want to watch, there's this guy on YouTube. His name is Foundflix, and he does like horror movies and stuff like that. So if I'm like, I don't really feel like watching that, or I'm like, that's scary.
Yeah.
and
Oh,
I just go in and he gives like a 30-minute breakdown of the movie. He
Yes.
just shows clips. It's like ending explained, but it's the entire movie.
wait, I relate to
explained
that.
you.
What's the movie where like the girl reaches her head out of the car window and she gets decapitated?
Hereditary.
Hereditary. So
such a
That
good
happens in
movie.
that?
I've never
Yeah.
seen it, but
I
I've
haven't seen
heard
it.
about that iconic scene so many times
Oh
that
my
I was like, I'm just
God.
gonna watch that scene. And
No, it's
so
such a good movie.
yeah.
Oh my God. No, it's like genuinely a really good horror movie. I
I-
love horror movies.
What
I was
are
about to
okay?
ask
I was gonna say,
that.
what are the horror movies that have like
Mhm.
permanently fucked you up or stayed with you?
Oh, wow. Okay. No, that is such a good question. Honestly, Insidious really fucked me up for a little while.
I haven't seen
The
it.
first one, it's like just so creepy. There's this one scene where like the little devil guy is like dancing and like what's her name? Rose Byrne is like looking through the window and she just kind of sees the little devil guy like dancing his little jig to the radio. And it's such a stupid scene, but in context, terrifying.
Yeah,
Terrifying. And I was like, because that could be my house.
sure.
That could be my house.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do not fuck with scary movies. I feel like we talked
don't
about
blame
this. Like funny scary movies. I'm like, it's too much,
Mhm.
actually.
Yeah.
But what did I watch? Oh, any movie where I'm like, I have to engage with something like that every single day.
Yeah.
Like there's this movie called When Darkness Falls where like
Oh.
some type of being emerges only when it's dark out. And I'm like, okay, well, it gets dark every single day. So
No, truly.
every single day
Totally.
I could be
Yeah.
confronting that. Or like The Ring with anything static.
Oh yeah, no, that's tough. That with Poltergeist too. That's a big thing in Poltergeist,
Right.
is like the static and the little girl.
Yeah.
So that I don't bring static or little girls into my life.
No,
Personally, because of that
That's so
movie.
fair.
And we'll be on our
I
way
can't
right
do
after
that.
this. Don't worry, us little
Yeah,
girls here.
absolutely.
Yeah, I'm surprised you agreed to be on this podcast.
Like the littlest girl. Well, do you see any static?
Well, we could bring that in here.
I feel like oftentimes when we speak, many people hear static.
That's what I hear.
That
Yeah, me too.
yeah.
What do you like about horror movies?
Honestly, I was just thinking about that as you spoke it out. And I was like, no, as Isabel's talking, I'm like, genuinely, why do I enjoy this? Why do I enjoy terrifying myself? And that was a question that my parents kind of had for me that I truly had no answer for.
So this has been like
But-
a lifelong love.
Yeah, well, not really. Actually, I was a very scared kid.
I was a very scared kid.
A
I think we
very
all three
scared
had that.
kid. I think we see each other with that. I
Yes.
was a terrified kid.
Yep.
I was so scared of everything. I like couldn't even watch. There was like that one scary episode of Zack and Cody.
No, no,
You
that
know what I'm
that
talking
kind of
about?
shit. No,
Yeah.
and
Yep.
it's like, why couldn't I watch like Phantom of the Megaplex? Like,
No, literally.
like
Literally.
it's not scary. It's like
Yeah.
about a movie theater. Like you can chill out.
Yeah. No, truly. And there were like a couple scenes in like Halloween Town or something that
Right.
I was like, chills, you guys.
Like that
I'm
one Mary Kate and Ashley
scared.
movie about Halloween. It's like,
Yeah.
ooh, shivers down my spine.
No, it is-
Literally.
it's so crazy. And I was such a scared kid. I hated horror movies. I hated anything scary. And then for some reason I turned 13 and like a switch flipped. And then all of a sudden I remember the day me and my sister sat down and we watched this movie. It was called like Hide and Seek. It was like this terrible movie. It got like 17% on Rotten Tomatoes, starring who else? Dakota Fanning.
Of
Of
as,
course.
as the poor kidnapped little girl.
Totally.
And and we just watched this movie and then we were like, oh, that wasn't that bad, let's do another one. And then we just kind of sat there and every day we would kind of like watch a new horror movie while we were waiting for our parents to get home, because like we got
Oh,
home
that's
first from
sweet.
school. And it was it was a little sweet. It was a little bonding moment. And then we kind of like carried that on into adulthood. Like my sister lives in Florida and I live here in New York City. But I've kind of carried on. Like I just saw Nosferatu.
Yeah.
weekend.
Talk to me about that.
And
Is it, should we be,
I'm not gonna see it.
should we
Well,
be indulging?
And hey, you probably shouldn't.
That's what I've heard.
Well, that's not to say that it's like a bad movie, but if you don't like, it's definitely. And I love Robert Eggers. I think he's a great filmmaker. I think he's also a fellow New Englander. I am a New Englander as well, if I have not made that clear up until this point. But
Wait, no, you haven't made that clear at all.
I'm from Connecticut.
Okay.
Wow.
Oh,
Whereabouts?
that-
Whereabout in
a
the lovely state?
flow. Not the rich part.
What
Kind
are
of the
the
meth part.
parts?
But
Sure, no, we're
That's so
familiar.
cool.
There's,
I went to
uh,
college in the meth parts.
Wait, really? Where did you go?
Yeah, I went to school in Middletown, Connecticut.
Where did you go to Wesleyan?
I did indeed.
Wow.
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I did not get in there.
Wow.
But,
They fucked up.
Well, I
had-
got in back when they were still doing like the nepotism stuff. Like my dad went there,
Oh,
played a
your
sport.
legacy. Okay.
Oh my God,
There we
yeah,
go.
no,
Yeah.
I there was no shot in hell I was getting in
Okay.
without some serious strings being
Yeah.
pulled in my favor.
So that's actually like the area that my mom is from. She's from East Haddam, which is like
Ah,
the town.
yeah.
You know, it's like a little south of there. The Goodspeed Opera House is there. It's like a very prominent theater in Connecticut. They actually like every single time I think I talk about this with my mom, she brings up that they originated Annie, the musical,
Oh.
and then they like sent it to Broadway from there.
Wow.
But so she grew up in that town and she like never went to see a theater production or anything of that kind, really, because her parents just like weren't into that. But like now, as she's older and like my grandma passed away a couple years ago, my mom has been going with my grandma's best friend,
Cute.
That's so sweet.
and they've been going to see these shows together. And
Oh.
it's been like super sweet. And I love that she's been like able to like get in touch with a little art patron. Yeah. But then I grew up in a town called Tolland.
Okay.
It's very, very small. Not as methy as the rest of the area.
Yep.
But it's very close to Yukon. It's
Yeah.
like a 10-minute drive from Yukon. And I did get in there and I was like, over my dead fucking rotting bloated corpse will I be going to this
Gorgeous
fucking
imagery.
school? And much like Nosferatu, call back. But there's so it's I did and this relates back to Robert Eggers, I guess, because he's from New Hampshire.
Lovely.
And there's
Totally.
so I'm just like, I gotta support fellow
Local
New
artists,
Englander,
yeah.
local, just kind of local, small kind of indie artists.
Artisanal, yeah,
Just
yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
like Like infinity scar.
Ceramic
holding a mug
mug.
like
boots,
this.
ceramic mug. This is millennial joy picture. You're
Selena
at Disney
Gomez.
World.
Yes. Nothing screams
Mhm.
like indie artist to me more than like someone who's
Yeah.
walking on the sidewalk with an actual ceramic mug, like
Oh,
pulled right
God.
from their kitchen.
Give it up, Nancy.
Yeah.
Like, give
it
it
up,
up.
bro.
I'm like, give us a break. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Put that in a Yeti.
Yeah, like a grown up.
Like
They
a
don't, but they don't
goddamn
believe in a
grown-up.
Yeti for some reason.
Of course
No.
not. Big corporate.
They don't believe
Yeah,
in
big bad
Yeti.
corporate. Yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, Big Yeti is a huge problem.
Yeah,
Big
they're
Yeti
like
is a
drinking out of a
huge
cardboard
problem.
box. It's
Yeah,
like
the-
leaking out of the seams. We're like, you can do it a different way.
Yeah.
And they're like, I pulled it out of the trash, so it's actually rescued.
Yeah.
Recycled.
It's my foster
Plastic.
cup.
Rescued who? Yeah.
My adopted
Rescue.
rescue cup.
It's a Disney cup that's like chewed around the edges from like either a small child or a small dog, and you like can't tell.
Oh my God. Wait, do you guys remember those cups that had like 2 layers of plastic? And when
Yes.
you leafed it around, there was
Glitter.
water and glitter?
Yeah.
Yes.
I was
that-
picturing the glitter just then.
That I would
Oh.
rescue out of a trash can.
Yes.
Yeah.
that
Bite
I-
marks and all.
Literally
Yep.
with the little chip in it, and you don't know if any of that stuff is leaking into your
Oh, of
drink.
course
All
not.
of it is
No.
cancer causing.
Oh, absolutely.
You're like smiling and there's glitter all over your
Yeah,
teeth. It's like when you accidentally bite into a glow stick where you're like,
Yeah.
uh-oh.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
never happened to
Yeah.
me.
Oh,
my God.
it's a scary feeling when it happens.
I would never do that.
Did you bite a glow stick?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. See, I am an Orly. Here's a little thing about
Oh,
me.
yes.
Well, actually, no. Yes, and this is a safe space, of course. So yes,
Yes.
I'm an Orly fixated gal. So
Same.
chewing a lot of gum, chewing a lot of pens. Like a
Yes.
lot of pens have broken
Mhm.
in this mouth over
Mm.
over the years. Yeah. Yeah.
No, I totally feel that. I used to bite my nails for like
Oh.
a really, really disgusting habit. I understand, but then I broke it about 5 years ago.
What was your secret? Because
Yes.
I'm still gnawing those things
I
down.
honestly,
I don't get
and
you
it,
guys.
it happened, and
Because you have
hey,
gorgeous almond nails.
No. But
Sure.
but even before I had before
no,
before
literally,
that.
your nails look too good.
But
to
a lot of
bite.
times, some people get these nails so that they don't, you know.
Yes.
Some people do that, and some people do the nail polish that like
That, like,
tastes
is spicy.
yucky.
Yeah.
or it's like spicy. My parents tried everything because I used to chew on everything.
Were you like your shirt collar
The
was always a
corner
little
of my
moist?
coat?
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
like the little corner of my coat. I used to gnaw on it.
Yep.
While I was waiting, and eventually my parents like put Cholula on it to try to like dissuade.
You're
Okay,
like,
that would not
even
dissuade
better.
me.
No, literally, and I would just sit there and I would suck on my coat because I was like, spicy.
You're like, it's
Like now it's like stimulating. Yeah. Like,
Yeah, I was like, now my coat tastes like huevos rancheros.
yeah, it's actually
Like,
Yeah.
awesome.
Okay, it's brunch.
yeah, I'm
randomly.
sitting there and I'm like, it's brunch. I'm in second grade. I'm waiting for the bus. It's cold outside.
Oh, I felt so
And-
seen by. There was always an elementary school class with the kid
Yeah.
with the soaking wet
Yes.
shirt.
Yes,
Could never be me.
because you're biting the shirt.
You're just biting the shirt.
And hey, you're better adjusted for it.
Well, you know what's funny is like even as like a 5-year-old, I remember seeing that and being like, "That's sickening."
She would have seen us and been.
And now look who you're
disgusted by
talking
it.
to,
And
babe.
now you're fucking
And now I'm
surrounded. So
recognizing
what
the
are you gonna
enemy.
do?
Yeah.
now you're one of
I'm
us.
sorry
you're
to
one of
all.
it.
And we all
Welcome.
ended up in the same place, didn't
Yeah,
we?
we're
Did you
actually.
guys did you guys do the thing with your hair? I guess
Like
maybe
bite
you had
it?
long hair, but some people did that.
Oh no, I never chewed
I
it.
didn't
See
like that.
that oddly enough, draw a line.
Yeah, I was
That
gonna
I don't want a
say,
hairball.
In like the
No.
privacy of my home, I maybe like experimented with the texture where I'd be like, "Can I like? Am I going to be
Can
a
I make
hair
this work?
chewing girl?
Yeah.
Can I make it work?" The answer was no.
No.
Yeah,
Okay, let me
no.
ask you this. What about picture this? You're wearing a hoodie, strings.
absolutely.
Yes,
Well, no.
absolutely.
Can I? Can
the
I?
aglet on the end. On the end of the
And you even know
string.
you even know what it's called.
And
I
what
don't even know
language
what
is
it's called.
that?
The Phineas and Ferb teaches you in
Yeah.
2007.
And you're like, that's what I've been
And
addicted
Maxim
to.
subtitle. That please. No, but I was all about that. If it had, what do you call it? The aglet.
the aglet, the
Is that
plastic,
the plastic. Okay,
It
because I
felt
had
so
no
nice.
fucking interest in the knot, like
Yeah.
the string knot. I wanted the
Mhm.
plastic bit that I could
Yes.
kind of
Is
You really
gnaw
sink
on
your
it,
teeth into it.
And then, but
You
if
never
the
wanted it to
plastic-
break
No, you never wanted it to break.
because then it would hurt your tongue.
Yes, and if it did break, then you would get a little bit of plastic, and then you'd have to spit it out like so graceful.
What was more
Carrie's
humiliating?
disgusting. right now.
It's just like a
She's
whole
absolutely
section of the culture
repulsed.
that I'm like,
This is a whole subsection of humanity that you were that we're just like gnawing
no. And
on
here's the
everything.
thing: we have spoken about oral fixation, and I have oral
Absolutely.
fixation as well.
What is it?
Yes.
'Cause
Well,
it can't
you
be
know,
whatever broken
Well,
shit we're
my-
doing. Of course.
and with also
Oh.
with food.
Sure. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
for
But I'm
sure.
working on that.
that's far more socially acceptable than chewing my clothing. And
well, that was the thing too, is like when I was a nail chewer, when I was a nail biter, that's a crazy way to say it, a nail chewer.
When I was a chewer.
When I was a chewer, when I was chomping chew. And when I used to bite my nails, I remember, let's get into it. Let's start a Substack. Let's start a band.
Subreddit.
And well, when I did used to bite my nails, I remember like one summer when I was in college, I was like lifeguarding at this country club that we could not have ever afforded to go to. I will preface that. Write that down. But there's straight to camera. But there's and I remember I was like sitting there chewing my nail, and then one of my coworkers looked over and saw me, and he started chewing his nails, and I was like, you can't make me better, but I can make you worse.
Yes.
It's like I can drag you down here.
And that's
with
your
me.
role that you guys were both let go the next day.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, we got a horrible severance package.
Of course.
It was really bad.
They're like, here's some Cholula.
But
Fix
yeah,
yourself.
no, literally, they said dab it on your nails. But I did. So I ended up breaking it oddly enough because of capitalism, weirdly. And so during the pandemic, I worked at a liquor store like 2 towns over, which honestly, during the pandemic, dream job, low key.
Oh, yeah, no.
Working at a liquor store 2 towns
traffic
over
was,
is
about
what a beautiful Americana.
It was like true, like, baby, I'm your national anthem, like Lana Del Rey type beat. But I'm like chain smoking Marlboros in the parking lot.
You're like, I was able to replace my nail chewing with chain smoking.
With chain smoking cigarettes.
All good.
It's even better. But because it was COVID and everybody is like, was it the germs? And I'm like, maybe that was like back of my mind. Like, obviously that's gross. I don't want to get the germs in my hands and put it in my mouth. But because I was working like in this retail position, we had to wear masks and gloves for upwards of 8 hours at a time, 5 days a week.
Oh, I can
like
feel the
latex
condensation in
it was
both
really
of
rough.
those.
I mean, like the mask knee was crazy.
Oh, yeah.
And the sweat, these gloves in particular had like powder in them.
Yep.
So then when you
I
would
know the
sweat,
feeling.
it would create this horrible, sickening residue. But it like the trade-off of
chewing.
that.
No,
not for chewing. Because I would take my gloves off and I would be like, I'm actually so repulsed by this. That I like.
They're like pruny.
They're like pruny and sweaty
exceptionally
and
pale,
like because I've been like hoisting boxes of Jose Cuervo for 8 hours. And I would like pull off my gloves, and I was like, I was also so exhausted. I was like, I can't even think about chewing my nails.
I can only think about smoking that cigarette.
I can only smoke about how much I want to bite my nails. But
exactly. I can either smoke 18 cigarettes or think about biting my nails.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do want it for the record. I have never smoked a cigarette, and I will never smoke a cigarette. But
but the image of being the liquor store employee and smoking a Marlboro in the parking. I mean,
next to the Tesla charger by the Noodles and Company.
Wow, of course.
In the strip mall in Manchester. Yeah,
America is so beautiful.
It is truly
America the Brave.
I'm like, there is going to be an A24 movie, and it's going to be filmed right here.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm like, Sean Baker needs to street cast me right now. Like, I will be your next Sonora. Mikey Madison,
100%.
hit me up.
Yeah, get in touch with the Softy Brothers. You're like,
Oh my
I've got
God.
no talent whatsoever, but that seems to be kind of your whole bag.
Yeah, Safdie brother. They broke up. They had like
up.
creative differences.
They're
and
not
they broke
brothers
up.
anymore.
They're not brothers.
brothers?
They're not
No
brothers.
brother.
I miss the brothers. That's sad.
No, they had a huge falling out. And actually, my roommate worked on Josh Safdie's latest movie with T. Shao this summer into fall.
That little whisper of a
And
man.
The little whisper. Why did he grew out that mustache for that movie?
Seriously.
And he had that like slicked back kind of gross hair. And they were filming all over New York, and they were famous for like, sorry, Isabel's mom, for that scene where he's kind of eating Gwyneth Paltrow out in Central Park.
Timothy
And-
Chalamet?
Yeah. And
Wait,
That happened in that movie?
what?
Yeah, it's like,
Cool.
well, it's a movie. It hasn't come out yet. We haven't even gotten a trailer. I don't even know if I could technically speak about this, but put it in.
Okay,
Wait,
throw
hold
it
on.
in.
We're not talking about the Bob Dylan movie, correct?
No, we're not
I'm like,
talking about the Bob Dylan movie.
Timothy Chalamet eating out Gwyneth Paltrow. I'm like, I don't remember that
You're like,
happening.
whoa,
I don't think that should happen
whoa.
on movie or in real life.
No, in real life, not at all.
I don't think
Not
that.
at all. Although I do think it would be funny if he was like eating her out, and then like we cut to a close up of him, and then he's like regurgitating a jade egg on camera.
Wait, that is
And there's like a chain that he's like pulling out like a magician.
Yeah. He like burps up a gua sha.
Yeah. Oh my God. And he's like, yeah, she's sucking him off while like doing lymphatic drainage on his legs.
Yeah.
They were gunning his back.
But they're, yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
of course.
But so
that would destroy him.
it would literally
turn him
he's
to
such a
dust.
Swig. Yeah. It would
And those things have
snap.
real horsepower.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah. There
Mhm.
needs to be a content warning on those.
For sure.
Mhm.
Yeah. Not for the brittle boned.
No.
Also, somebody, sorry, not to change the subject, but I once was recently was like complaining about my back and needing a massage. And they were like, get a Theragun. And I'm like,
Mhm.
somebody
so do
still
I duct
has
tape
to.
it to the
Right,
wall?
what am I going to
Yeah.
do with that? Yeah.
Right.
Like,
Mhm.
they're not making it easy for a single woman like me to get that where it needs to
Yeah.
go.
No, of course. They need one of those back scratcher length ones.
Yeah.
Kind of like
I need one like that you get in the
Oh,
hospital,
God.
like, because you don't have mobility. Like,
Yes. My grandma, like very classic Upper East Side type of grandma.
Yeah.
And she had a long jade back scratcher that was never
Oh,
cleaned, but it became the family's
perfect.
favorite kind of like communal.
Yeah,
tool.
you're not
Yeah.
putting that under your shirt.
Oh,
Not by any means.
In our family, skin was communally
Oh.
scratched. Yeah.
And I, oop.
Follicles shared
Oh
for
my
sure.
God, it literally brought you closer together. You're all kind of one. in that
Exactly.
sense. That's kind of
exactly.
beautiful.
One
Actually.
little
Connecting to
petri
the human
dish.
consciousness.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That is,
The-
yeah.
all that is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Beautiful.
Of course.
So
But
all the dust in your grandma's home is just like everybody's skin.
it's
cells.
just our dead
They're
skin,
just
of course.
scratching
Yeah, we're
off
just
your skin
loofing
cells.
around each other.
Yeah. Oh, exfoliating. You're getting your.
We're like, let's go to the baths, referring to grandma's apartment.
You're going to the Russian baths.
Turkish,
It's like
yeah,
beach, yeah.
We're all
The
getting our
Turkish
spits
bath.
on. Yeah.
Actually, this is really crazy. I was talking to a straight male comic that we both know, and I'm not going to name names because that would be crazy.
Please,
he
but
was like,
after.
after, absolutely.
Okay,
But he
let's,
was like, I was like, oh my God, like I really want to go to the Russian baths. And he was like, wait, can we go together? And I was like, no,
no
literally no.
circumstances.
Like,
We're not doing that.
we're not going together. I was like, why do you want to be gay so bad? Like, I really want to be gay so bad.
Yeah. Oh God, just say it. Just say it.
Just say
It'd be so
it.
much easier.
Say it. Actually, I think more men are gay than they realize.
Absolutely.
God.
I have said this. I believe
Mhm.
this so firmly.
Yes.
There have to be as many bi men as there are bi women, which is most
No,
women.
so many.
100%.
So many.
I am hard pressed to find like a solidly straight woman these days.
We don't.
No,
they're-
truly, it's a dying breed.
It's a dying breed.
Yeah, it's a
Even
dying
like
breed.
the happily married ones I know are like given a second chance.
Yeah.
It'd be very
no,
different.
Literally.
I love my
yes.
current life, however.
They're bumping Chapel Roan on the
Yeah.
side.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like playing Red Wine Supernova casual.
Oh, of
with
course.
just
Yeah,
the
yeah.
entire discography.
Yeah,
pretty much.
exactly. It's like just Pink Pony Club like
Yeah,
bubbling
Pink
to the
Pony Club,
surface.
That song did something to me.
Me too.
Oh yeah.
You guys, I
absolutely.
saw her at Brooklyn Steel, and it was like right before. I guess it was it Gov Ball or Lala where she kind of had her
I thought it was-
moment.
I thought it.
Coachella. No, it was before.
No,
Coachella.
it was it Lala that she pulled out of? Because there was like
Yes, because I think she
Yeah.
was going through it.
yeah, because she was at Gov Ball because that was when she dressed like the Statue
Lady
of Liberty.
Lib.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
everybody was like, or people took like screenshots of that image of her in the crowd like in a hoodie, and she's just green and she's like covering her mouth.
Like I think
And everybody
that's
was like the Grinch stealing Christmas.
Yeah. But yeah, it was like just as she was about to blow up, and it was
Yeah.
magical.
Oh, that's so exciting.
I know.
You literally caught her on the cutting edge.
Oh yeah, and it was so clear that I was like the oldest and straightest person there. I think I was in this outfit.
Mm.
I think security was like, "Ma'am,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
Man, they saw your khaki
yeah,
jeans and they were like,
this is not a safe space
they're
for
like
you."
Yeah.
back of the line.
Yeah.
You actually have to have some Roy G. Biv representation.
Yeah, I get
Yeah.
egged. Yeah. Okay, well, now that we're of course
Mhm.
encroaching on
Deeply
30 minutes in, let's
Yeah.
do our
Podcast.
opening segment.
Sure.
Perfect.
So Chase,
Yes,
my dear,
Isabel.
every guest,
Yes.
you being the second, we like to kind of ponder the week that
Mm,
preceded this.
yes.
Because every week is different.
Mhm.
And I would like to preface when there are weeks that Carey and I aren't together, which is, every time that we're not recording,
Mm.
the time apart is wretched, awful, bad.
Excruciating.
I can feel that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can
Yeah.
feel that.
Yeah.
I can feel how much you love and adore each other.
Yes. No, there's a lot of like yearning and lusting for each other's presence.
Yes.
And so when we come together, we like to share kind
Mhm.
of what we experience within that week. There are certainly some high moments, what we call flips, and some low moments that we call flops. So we'd like to hear a flip or a flop of yours from the
Yeah.
past week.
Absolutely. Well, honestly, I was kind of thinking about this, and I was listening when I listened to your previous episodes. I heard this segment, and I was like, please, 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 I'd love to talk about it. But this weekend, I actually, whoa, craziest thing. It was like the day started pure flip, ended pure flop.
Sure.
That
And I'm gonna
happens.
get into it. It was picture it Saturday.
Okay, hold on. Hold that thought right there. You and Kayla both are the way that you hook us.
Yeah, setting the
We need to
scene.
be better about this.
Smash cut.
I
Yeah.
refuse to get better at it, but I love that you guys are good at it.
I'm gonna try, and we're gonna see how I do when it's
My
my turn.
favorite thing to do is bore people to tears with the length to which I take to get to the point.
Yeah.
I think that's sort of my superpower.
Yeah.
Hey, look at me. You have never bored me once a day in my single life.
Oh my God.
This is what I'm saying.
A
You're
day
the
in my
interesting
single
one.
life. I have been captivated by every word you've ever said.
Stop. Wait, that's so
And
sweet.
likewise.
Every time I see Carey, I love bomb her in a way that if I was straight, it would be bad.
but since you're
I
not,
would need
it's
to be in
perfect.
jail.
You're like a full-on
Yeah.
HR crisis. We're
Oh
like,
my God, I'm
answer
not going
we
to be able
can
to
see
speak
'em.
the entire rest of the episode
There-
because I'm so flattered.
Well,
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 you actually ruined this.
actually, I'm taking it down from the inside.
Wait,
Wait, can
So-
I just say really fast that I am
Yeah.
personally stressed out right now
Mhm.
because I forget what my flip is.
That's okay.
So
Okay, well,
You'll
I'm gonna
arrive
give you
there.
so much time because
Okay,
I'm gonna talk
please.
about my Saturday,
Okay,
and it
great.
was okay. So picture it. It's Saturday.
I'm there.
Beautiful, kind of winter overcast day. I'm freshly 26. It's been like a week since I turned 26. Sorry,
Oh.
not to date myself.
Oh, happy
Oh
birthday.
my God.
Thank you. Thank you.
Happy! I didn't realize
No, I'm
youngin
a
was in the
little.
mix.
I'm a little January baby.
Happy birthday!
Thank you so much.
Wow,
But
incredible.
yeah, so I got some presents from my parents, which includes an Alamo Draft House gift card
Amazing.
Obsessed.
and MoMA membership,
Oh,
which
elegant.
I did explicitly ask for.
Mhm.
However, it was very nice to receive. And so I went on Saturday. That's when I saw Nosferatu. But I see this movie. I'm like, oh, this was so worth it.
So it was like an early matinee?
yes, it was a matinee, and I love
Was
going
it a
to
solo movie?
So,
Like,
yeah,
did
going
you
by
go
myself.
solo?
Yeah. Oh, I love going to movies.
Me
by
too.
myself.
I was gonna say
I
there's
love
nothing
it.
better.
Oh my God, it's the best. And one time I actually went to a movie by myself. I went to see I saw the TV Glow.
Yeah,
this
yeah,
summer.
You were going to say Ice Age.
Because I was like, I was like really trying to like find my footing with the S sound. But
you got there.
nevertheless, she persisted.
Yeah.
So I saw the TV Glow, and I just like go to Williamsburg Cinema. It's like some random Tuesday. And who do I happen to see but my good friend Julia Desmond,
Okay.
who like
Oh, love.
Carey, you know her. Like
Love her
she's
deeply.
a comedian. She's so funny. And we were both just there alone. And we were like, hey girl, hey. Like, what the hell are you doing here? And then we were sitting in different seats, obviously, because it's like a
I was going to
seating.
ask, if you see someone
but-
you know at a movie
Mhm.
theater and you're both going alone, do you feel pressure to then sit next to each other?
We didn't in
Okay.
that moment. I think because we understand each other so implicitly.
I was
Yeah.
gonna, that's the right
That-
move. It's like we were here on our own
Yeah.
path to
Mhm.
begin with, and we should honor that path.
Yeah, absolutely. But then we did link up afterwards, and we
Nice.
like took the train back together, and we were like talking and like debriefing about the movie. But
Perfect.
so I love seeing movies by myself. So I went to see Nosferatu by myself. I like snuck in a little box of snow caps
Yep.
that I got in Vermont on New
Ooh.
Year's, and I was just like eating my little snacks, drinking my little water that they give you for free.
Yep.
And baby, those credits rolled. I got the fuck out of there
Yeah.
because I was like, Mama's got a museum date with herself. I go up to MoMA, and I'm just kind of walking around. I got Ethiopian jazz playing in my earbuds.
Oh my
I'm
God, he's
walking around-
26.
I'm
Wait, by the
26,
way,
yes.
when you said I'm 26, you have to understand,
Yeah.
I'm like so old and withered now that I was like,
Okay.
oh, it's a flashback.
It's a
Like,
flashback.
Yeah,
he couldn't
flashback 5
possibly
years
be
ago.
26 because everyone is now 30 or above like I am.
Everyone is
Yes,
31.
Everyone
Yeah.
is my exact same age.
Yeah. I was like, oh, a 4-year ago flop. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
No, it's like I'm calling back to a time in American history that was in fact a week ago, but so I'm like walking around. I only made it around like a small part of the museum, but I was like, that is what's so great about having this membership.
Mhm.
Because
Yes.
I'm like, I
No
don't feel
stress.
pressured
Yep.
to like, because I love a museum, but I get worn out.
Yeah.
Same.
And I'm like walking around, I'm like, I'm tired.
I'm tired
reading all the
immediately upon getting
plaques.
there.
Yes, no, literally, because I'm like, a museum date, I'm so classy, I'm so sophisticated, I'm so fly. And then I get in there and I'm walking around and I'm like,
I'm like, I want to go to the gift shop and I
actually
want to go
tired.
home.
And I
Yeah.
want to get like a milkshake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want an
I wanna
Auntie Anne's
go to
pretzel.
Sonic.
Yeah,
I go
yeah.
to
I want a
Chick-fil-A.
I want a Bavarian pretzel and I want to go home.
I need a crinkle cut fry.
Yeah.
Stab.
I want hot nuts out of a street vendor's hand and then I
There's
want to go
nothing
home.
like a museum that makes me need dopamine immediately.
Yeah.
No, literally.
Just like, where is it?
No, I'm like, I need Dippin' Dots.
Yeah.
Like, I just cut to like the most, whatever's gonna put sludge in my veins the fastest.
Yeah.
No, truly. And I wanna be, Callum and normal people. I wanna be staring at a painting for 45 minutes, like contemplating its meaning. But actually, honey, I'm just sitting on the bench because my feet hurt.
Yes.
Mhm.
I'm tired. I got low arches.
The same level of exhaustion I feel by just like simply entering a mall.
Mhm.
Yes.
Where I'm
Oh
like,
my
take
God.
me to the closest
Oh,
Apapa.
it's so-
Take me to the closest Apapa.
oh my God.
I
it's
need a
so-
coffee and a
it's
treat.
so overstimulating.
Yeah.
No, I like am famous in my family because
Mhm.
anytime we would go to the mall when I was like a young child, I would immediately be looking for a place to sit. Like I can't stand
I'm like
it.
sitting on the
Uh-huh.
edge of the indoor
Yeah.
fountain. I'm like,
I'm like,
anywhere
where
will
is a
do.
Foot Locker? I just need to go inside because they have benches.
Yeah. You're like trying on a pair of Air Jordans. You're like, just a second.
You have your feet off. You're like soaking them in the fountain. I'm like, they're swollen. I have bunions. You're 6.
I've been on my feet all day.
Yeah.
And you're for
Yeah, I've been on my feet all day. I've been working a long shift. But yeah, so I had that beautiful time like up in the MoMA.
I'm so scared of what
I
happens in your
genuinely time.
second half of your day.
I
No,
literally
I sense it. It's coming.
well, so it's like okay, so it's not as bad as I'm like playing it up to be. However, I was invited to 2 parties that night, kind of massive brag, and
Yeah.
one of them was like me and my good friend Maya, love you girl. We're gonna go to Singers, the famously a gay bar
Yes.
in Bedside, and I was so excited because I've never been before, and I really, really want to go. And she was gonna bring me as kind of her +1 to this party because she was like, I'm not gonna know anybody at this party besides the birthday boy. So do you want to come with me to?
and you're
this
not the
place?"
birthday boy.
And I'm not the birthday boy.
But it
It's a
is
different birthday
technically
boy.
you're technically kind of also the birthday.
Yeah, and I'm technically kind of gonna crash that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But
sure.
I was so ready to like go in. I shaved my neck. I did the whole
Folks,
thing.
so it's a night. It's
I
a
did the
night
whole thing.
out.
I was like, it's kind of like when my mom puts her good bra on.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like,
girls are up.
we're hitting the town.
Yep.
We're hitting the town tonight. We're hitting Bedside. I'm taking the B26 home.
Yep.
But
That's like when I put on my socks with a little bit of padding in the bottom of the feet, where I'm like,
Yes.
we're in it for the long
'cause I'm
haul.
gonna be
Yes.
up. I'm
We're
gonna
in
be
it for the long hauls.
up.
Yep.
Yeah, I need that.
My
support.
compression socks go
Yeah.
on.
I
I crack my neck. Yeah.
My orthotics.
Yeah.
But and before that, I was like going to this friend's party. She's like a new friend. So I was like excited to go to this birthday party. And then I get to the birthday party because I'm like, okay, I only have to be here. I can only be here for like 45 minutes.
Yep.
Because I like have to show up and then I have to hop on that old G train and head down to Bedside. So then I get to this party, nightmare to end all nightmares. I know not a single person there.
No.
Not a single person there except for the birthday person who's obviously
Busy.
everybody's talking to them. Like
Yeah.
they're making the
Yes.
rounds. So I'm just kind of sitting there. It's kind of nothing but me and kind of the largest kind of murder of improvisers that you can
And that is
find.
a murder.
Oh.
And that is a murder.
Mhm. Yeah.
And there are a parliament of stand-up comedians versus a murder of
Yeah.
of improvisers. And I was just kind of standing there and I was like, okay, I truly hate this and nobody wants to talk to me. I'm
Sure.
trying to be I'm being miss social. I'm being miss outgoing.
Sure.
I'm like going around, I'm talking to everybody. I'm like, who's cool here? Like
You're
who-
casually being like, it's so funny that it's her birthday because it's also mine.
Yeah. And I was like, well, I actually like am really young and supple and I didn't
Yeah.
I'm not even that old yet. So I'm like looking around. Also, this person was turning 25. I was like, wait.
You're
messed up.
you're an unaccompanied minor.
Yeah, literally. I was like, wait, you can't rent a car until today?
Yeah, you're still on mommy and daddy's
I
insurance.
was like, oh,
what's that like?
oh, you don't know true pain. And so I'm like walking around and I'm like, okay, well, I gotta just stick with it because I'm going to singers. I'm going to singers tonight. I'm going to singers. And then my good friend
I have a bad feeling about
yeah,
that.
and you should, because my good friend Maya, love you so much, girl, texts me and is like, "Hey," and I'm like, "Fuck,"
Yeah.
and because that's never good. So then she is like, "I'm waiting for the bus," and honestly, like, it truly kind of never arrived, and it kind of left me standing here, and it's so cold out. I think I'm gonna go home,
Oh.
which I was like, "Fair, that's immensely fair." So then I was like, okay, like, wait, but do you want to like meet at another location or something? And she was like, no, like, I think I'm good. Like, I'm going to go home. And I was like, okay, sweet.
But
That
I'm
feels
the
really good to
big
me.
brave birthday boy.
And I was like, but I'm big boy boy.
But I'm very big boy.
I'm big boy.
I turned a big boy today.
So get with it. Get with the program because we're going to singers. And I was like, well, I'm not brave enough to show up to singers without my hag. So
Yeah.
what am I
You just
going
hit
to do?
Dave and Buster's instead. Try to
Literally,
get
I was
lucky on
like,
the slots.
I gotta straight up. If I can't straight up the queer space, then I can queer up the straight space.
Wow.
But then I was like, no, actually, like this is a really tragic end to my evening, and I just truly need to go home.
Yeah,
So then
Of course.
it ends so anticlimactically, but to me, in my mind, that was such a flop.
No, my God. Well,
And-
also like,
Yeah.
because it is such it's a specific feeling. Like if you have an ongoing text exchange going
Yeah.
with someone and then all of a sudden you get, hey, I know
Mhm.
something's about to go down.
Something is amiss.
Something's about to, you don't need to
Yeah.
greet me. We're in the middle of a conversation. You're trying to
Mhm.
soften bad news on the other side.
Yeah.
Every now and then I'll get like and you text in all lowercase too,
Mhm.
Yeah.
which is it's been a learning curve for me. But a
Oh,
low
We can
that's a
talk about it.
lot.
a lowercase hey is always really scary.
Oh,
when-
that is
when
a
it's
little
from Carey.
scary.
I feel like I'm being scary every time I text you by accident. I'm not trying to be scary. So then I try to be like overcompensatingly not
Mhm.
scary, but then I feel like I'm being too. It's really
Yeah.
hard to
I
navigate.
know. We
that
need to
tone.
like print out our text exchange and have Chat GPT analyze it. I'm sure he'd be like, you two need to be in therapy together.
I think that
Yeah.
they would say seems like a normal conversation, and the
Mhm.
crazy is up here.
Yes.
I think.
Yeah. But we do have funny text ticks that we overcompensate with each other
Mhm.
towards.
Yeah.
We do be doing.
Well, it's also like we're in a business relationship, so we have to, oscillate between friendship, a business partner.
Of course.
It's a tough line to navigate.
You wear a lot of hats.
Mhm.
Wear a lot
Wear
of hats.
in this
Although weirdly,
relationship.
you're the only one wearing a hat right now.
I'm the only one wearing a hat because, baby, I'm bald.
'Cause maybe I'm bold.
I'm bald and it's cold.
Big bald
outside.
birthday boy.
Big bald birthday boy. I'm just big baby.
Big bald baby.
That's the only impression I can do is Coach Steve from Big Mouth. That's the only impression I can do. Do you want to hear it?
I don't know that
Please.
show.
Do you want to hear it? Okay,
it
you
rip.
don't know that show.
But I like what you had
Okay,
just done.
well, thank you. It's so Nick Kroll plays 90% of the characters in
Oh,
the show,
right.
including Coach Steve, and I can only really do an impression of that one scene where he's like, where he's trying to spell love
Yeah.
on the diaper barge. Watch this show.
We
you'll
love
get it,
diapers on
and-
this show.
Oh yeah, we
Big
talk about
diaper fan.
diapers all the time.
Love
Oh,
diapers.
diapers huge for the
Especially
movement.
when worn by big, strong birthday boys.
Big strong birthday boys. Actually, I kind of have a diaper story.
Okay.
It's not me. It's
Oh.
not me, but
It's okay if it
it's
is.
spilling somebody
It's a
else's
friend.
tea. It's a friend. It's a friend.
It's a very good
Everyone
friend.
else's tea.
There's a spilling somebody else's tea, but yeah, so I can okay, so this is my impression of Coach Steve spelling love. Hockey stick, coffee stain, upside down cup, sideways comb.
Wait, that's actually pretty good.
Wait, that's
Maxim's laughing. That was really
unbelievable.
fucking good.
That was
That
unbelievable.
was, if you've watched Big Mouth, like that was really good.
No, I have zero notes.
Thank you.
My guy.
Thank you so
Wow.
much. I
None
think
whatsoever.
Hopefully, you
thi-
could get discovered from this podcast. Maybe.
I would literally
Yeah.
love that. Sean Baker,
Where you at?
where are you?
Yeah.
Where are you, girl? I could probably do a better Brooklyn accent than Mikey Madison. Ooh, sorry.
Oh,
sorry.
he said, hey,
Wow.
hey. Big boy said
Doing-
it, not me.
Yeah, I'm doing incendiary content. Podcast. You're about to get a stream of horny film bros.
Oh, I would be
Desperate.
so grateful. I would be so grateful. Yeah.
I would love that.
Mhm.
Anyone outside of the demographic
Any stream of
Isabel-
anyone.
Isabel's cousin.
Yeah. Anyone outside of the demographic of my bloodline, for
Yeah.
sure.
Mhm.
Yeah. We accept with open arms.
100%.
Mhm.
So
Well, I'm really sorry.
I'm so sorry about your flop.
No, it's like ultimately it's fine.
Can I say something though? Because
Yeah.
I have been to singers and I had a
Okay.
bad time when I went there.
Okay,
That's what
well,
I'm saying.
well, you're also sorry, girl.
I know I'm girl. I know I'm girl, but it was just the It was too crowded, and that place is small.
Oh yeah.
And it's just like, I think at a certain point, if a place
Mhm.
is small enough and it's too many people, it doesn't even matter if you're a girl, boy,
Yeah.
gay, straight. It's like, that's a
Mhm.
bad experience.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
no,
like
that's so fair.
the air is
It's
moist
so
and
fair.
claustrophobic, and yeah.
And it's like,
Yeah.
especially nowadays with,
Mhm.
you know, with everybody's wearing their big coats. Okay, so now you take up like twice the number of
Yeah.
amount of space that you normally do.
You're taking your coat off, you're putting it on the booth. That's the only place anybody can sit.
Right. Now
And
there's
then
coat and seat.
Now there's coat on seat.
Now, oh, and also
Mhm.
when I was there, now granted, you know, this was just one night, but like
Yeah.
it was impossible to get a drink. Like took me like 45 minutes to get a drink.
That's tough.
So it could
That's
have been that
really
you
tough.
got there, showed up, took the bus all the way, whatever, took the G
Oh,
train, and then had a
God.
bad time.
And then I'd have to take the bus home.
So think about that.
I think actually this might have been somewhat, maybe not a flip, but maybe a choke.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Adding it's now
Introducing a
flip
third
flop or
option.
choke.
Flip, flop, or choke. Yeah, it's
Am
like
I-
flight
And
fight.
choke is actually
Or
better than
is it-
flop.
Yeah.
Is it a flip, a flop, or a flail?
Ooh,
Am I
a
flailing
flail.
on the
That could have been a flail. Yeah.
Yeah.
there? I think it was a flail, but yeah, I'm
Well,
so sorry that happened.
It's also hard when like your day starts off so good.
Mhm.
It's like, how can your night even compare? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, what would
tough.
Moma me even think of this?
I know,
Like,
literally, it would be like, girl, get in here. We got to go to the third floor.
Yeah.
We haven't even made it there yet.
no, seriously, what would Jackson Pollock me think of
Oh
this
my
moment?
God. No, literally.
Humiliated.
I'm looking at Water Lilies by Van Gogh
Yeah.
right now. Show some fucking decorum.
Yeah, I was with Guernica this morning. Okay.
I was communing with Guernica.
Yeah, Guernica.
We were really connecting about the Spanish Civil War.
Yes.
Well, thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, of course.
That was
I wanna-
brave.
Thank
It
you.
was.
Well, I want to hear your flips,
Yeah.
flops, or flails.
I remember my flip.
Go.
So I'm
Okay.
and I'm
Well,
excited
go so you
because
don't lose it.
perfect.
Because now
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
Well,
debating mine.
and it
Mhm.
connects to something you said about spilling other people's tea.
Mhm.
Oh, perfect.
My flip of this week and the past, I would say, I don't know, 4 or 5 months of
Mhm.
pop culture is Baldoni Lively public theater
Oh.
culminating today in what is another legal action by Justin Baldoni, who has now sued Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds
For defamation.
for all this stuff,
Oh,
breach of contract, defamation,
yeah.
all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I was reading the 179-page
Dossier.
suit
Oh my
tweet.
God.
And I only read like the first 20 pages, but you have to read it. Like it
Uh-huh.
is theater. Like at this point,
Really?
we've transcended the realm of like actually treating this like a real story, and now
course.
it's just my entertainment.
Well, no,
Yeah.
because now I feel like they're doubling down in a way where they're seeing the media, they're seeing like
Mm.
the blockbuster potential of this
Mhm.
fight. It's like
Yeah.
it's transcended the movie, and now we're creating something brand new.
We're creating more art. It's like it's performance art.
Yes.
And so it's
Yeah.
awesome to witness. And like you think that a legal document is going to be like boring and bland. Truly, the first like 20 pages of this are some of the most dramatic,
Gripping.
gripping. Like
tension.
seriously, the first sentence is like the plaintiffs.
girl walks into a
it literally
room.
was like the plaintiffs never wanted to tell this story. Like I'm not even kidding. I'm not kidding.
They have an audiobook version. You're like,
Script of a true
I'll
crime.
opt
It's
in.
Unfortunately-
read by
Sarah
Michelle
Paulson.
Pfeiffer.
Yeah, no. Literally, like David Attenborough is like, can I get in on this?
oh, that's too good.
But it is so, I'm just salivating at it. Like, I also, like, I'm on no one's side. Like, I think they're both narcissists. I think this is what happens when you get two toxic people who are obsessed with themselves.
Yeah, and who
Yeah.
are
And they're
afraid of their
fighting.
own brands toppling.
Yes.
It's just
Yeah.
like the kinetic force of that is
And they're
simply too
both, like,
strong.
I think, pretty, like, they both are people who, like, put on airs, basically. They
Sure.
pretend to be something that they're not. And so, like, seeing them expose each other, but then also expose themselves in the process, it's just,
Mhm.
it has been so entertaining. I can't wait to get
Oh.
home and read more of the lawsuit and all of the things. that they say.
Read more
And
of
there's-
the lawsuit.
No, and there's literally also in it like emails and stuff. Like
Yes.
there's emails, there's texts,
Oh
there's
my
like
God.
it's
You
a
could
full
not make
dossier.
up these characters too, like the PR people who represented Baldoni. I'm like, this
Mm.
is they thought of all of this before they broke the controversy. Like
Yes.
it is
Mhm.
so delicately crafted and like smartly cast. I'm like, this is brilliant.
Yeah, yeah.
This is brilliant.
This is
No,
street
it's
Make a show
brilliant.
about it. Yeah.
It's amazing. I don't know how it's like it's unfolding as though it was
100.
planned, but
and you
it's
know
not.
that there's
Yeah.
going to be all sorts of like whatever the version of like the Johnny Depp and
I was
And that
just
does scare
thinking
me.
It was like theater of the public.
Exactly.
It's like the Amber Heard Johnny Depp
And
trial.
that was way worse, I think, because
Oh,
like
yeah.
with this, it's like nothing. It's kind of a nothing burger.
It's kind of nothing. burger.
Nothing
Like,
burger.
They're
Yeah.
all just saying stuff and like talking shit about each other, but there's not like any really horrible allegation.
Mm.
Sure.
So that kind of also adds to this like levity to it that I feel, where it's like these two people are just kind of destroying their own reputations
Completely.
in public, and it's
Yeah,
awesome
yeah.
to watch.
No, exactly. It's so funny. It's like they're trying to like elevate their platform while they destroy it at the same time.
Yeah.
It's like they're so
Yeah.
hungry for visibility that they'll even like self-flagellate in front of
100%.
everyone like this.
Which is so funny because like Blake Lively, babe, like you were chilling.
Yeah.
You were chilling.
No
on
one was.
We forgot.
No one was
autopilot.
worried about you.
We forgot.
No one was worried about you.
Yeah.
Truly, no one.
Did
But
you guys
that
ever
is-
see, was it The Shallows, the shark movie?
Yes.
I didn't see
Oh, I
that
did
one.
actually see it.
Banger.
I heard she was
It is
wonderful in
kind
it.
of- Yeah, it is
Yeah.
kind of a banger of a movie. It was like we're bringing back like old style kind of high stakes thrillers.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she kind of carries that movie a little bit low key because she's like the only person in this movie.
Oh, 100%. It's
For,
her,
like,
it's her and an
90% of
anime
it.
shark.
No, yeah.
literally.
And a CGI
She was born.
rock.
She was born to
CGI
play
rock.
opposite the ocean.
Yeah.
And it's like there's like a puppet seagull that she like pops its wing back.
Yeah, best supporting actress was a buoy. So,
buoy,
yeah.
yeah.
The buoy.
Really
Um,
amazing work.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But it also just goes to show just like how much disposable income these guys have, where
Oh,
it's
yeah.
just like we can afford to just pay these lawyers
Mhm.
to no end for
Mhm.
as long as we want to be visible
Yeah.
under this premise. Like we have the funds to do.
Well,
it.
and you can just tell from the language that they're using that like they are going they're like just they want her dead. Like
Yes.
they are destroying her.
That's
Yeah.
so it's so funny you bring that up because the language is like the funniest part to me,
Yes.
where he's like no survivors. It's like
Oh.
what?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's like murder her.
We will. What did he say? He was like,
Eviscerate
we will
her.
eviscerate her. Yeah, we will take her to like the full extent of the law. And it's like,
Oh, my
dude, she like talks
God.
shit about you.
Yeah, the tactic is like a mean hashtag. Like that's how they're
Yeah.
eviscerating her. It's some wild shit.
It
Wow.
is just so. It's like publicly just being a little bitch, like and bitch slapping somebody.
Oh,
in front of
absolutely,
everyone.
absolutely.
It's taking off your glove and like smacking them with the glove.
Yeah, with
To
the
challenge
chalk,
them.
with the chalk, the
With
residue.
the chalky
the chalky
residue.
residue,
Yeah.
too.
Challenging them to
Yeah.
a duel.
forcing someone to bite your chalky nails.
Yeah.
Like, come on your
It's like-
knees.
Do it.
You're gonna
Do
do
it.
a cigarette race in the
Yeah.
back of the parking lot.
Yeah, stub it out on your forehead.
Yeah, but I highly recommend diving into that if that is of interest to anyone.
It is a mistake
Yeah.
that they do not have an actress reading over the dossier.
No,
like,
literally.
I'll do it. Hey,
They need Michelle Williams. Like, she
no,
did
we
a-
need your
a-
big mouth character on the
Literally,
on the
I
track.
could do it. I'll read
With a nice
for
deep bass
Justin
behind it.
Baldoni, whatever the fuck his name is. But I know the only things I know about this are like from the Us Weekly headlines or like whatever the fuck pops up on my Explore page.
Yes.
I gotta read the dossier.
Oh, yeah,
Gotta
yeah,
read
yeah.
the whole
Read-
document.
read the one that came out today. It's as though it was written by Charles Dickens. Truly.
Oh my god!
Are they
level
Like,
of
paid by
drama.
the word.
No, yes.
They're like taking it seriously enough where they're like redacting things in it. It's like a full on CIA document.
Wow.
Oh yeah. Well, and just the tone of like this never needed to happen. Like the first couple paragraphs are like, if Blake Lively had just shut the fuck up, this wouldn't have happened. And we wouldn't have come after her and she would have been totally fine. But since she did, now we have to. And it's her fault. It's like, damn.
What?
shit.
Yeah. It's savagery.
It's
Oh
just like
my
what you say before you
God.
like stick a long medieval sword through someone's like
Yeah,
sternum.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, and I think it really shows just how much of like our court legal system is just like truly
Weirder.
flamboyant people like
Yeah,
saying
they put on their little robes.
crazy shit.
Yeah.
But it always, you know, what's interesting is it truly always has been.
Yeah. Oh
The-
yeah.
Well, not just the history of the American courts too. Like, okay, so also bear in mind, I grew up in Connecticut. We're bearing that in mind. I took Latin in high
Okay.
school.
Me too.
And that, but it wasn't a Catholic school. It was
Me
a
neither.
public school.
My private school.
Oh,
But
it was a private school.
and I was
you went
also
to?
really good at it.
Oh, no, I was also really good at it.
Yeah, because we're good at language.
We're literally gonna write letters in Latin,
Literally.
back and forth to each
Oh,
other.
me too.
No, literally, we'll include
Let
it.
me
with
bond.
English or
English
versions too.
translation.
No, but yeah, with pictures.
You got to bond with Kayla over your frizzy hair, and then you got to bond with Chase over your
Or nail
nail
biting.
biting.
It's
Just let me
always
have
over
something.
people's like deepest, ugliest anxieties. Where I'm like, I feel Yeah.
We're like, we used
You're
to
broken just like me.
We're like, we used to chew on our clothes, and then Carey and I are like, yeah, we actually speak Latin fluently.
Yeah. It's actually my fifth
Deeply cultured,
language.
yeah.
Interestingly.
Yeah, it's actually I
no.
got Russian, Chinese, and Latin.
And I spoke at that university, and you did too, actually. And
Oh, and you did the Cambridge seminar as well.
Totally.
You're bleeding from my eyes.
Professor
Yeah.
Oldenbrook. Yeah, I love him.
Yeah,
my hands are bleeding all over my thighs.
we're just sitting there, and we're like, it gets better. It's
Yeah.
What were you going to
But
say about?
okay, so I was
Latin?
saying, like, part of our Latin curriculum was we studied like Roman history and everything. So we looked at Cicero, who was like famous ancient Roman lawyer and everything. And we really learned that like court and systems of justice was theater.
Mhm.
Yes.
Theater. It was literally, it wasn't about like the evidence that you bring or the case that you have. It's literally like the best performance wins.
Oh, well, this
It
is
was
why
Oscars.
the crossover between people who were invested in debate and
Mhm.
invested in Model UN and invested in theater
In
were the
theater.
same
They're the same.
people.
It's a three-way
Venn
Venn
diagram
diagram.
is
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. 100%.
Absolutely. And they would literally like they would pull kids from the theater program to like do mock trial and debate
Absolutely.
in high school. And you had to have like a flair for the dramatic. Even back
Mhm.
then, like reading these like long. Like for our homework, it would be like translate 2 sentences of
Oh, yeah.
Cicero because these 2 sentences
Or like
are
5 pages.
4.5 pages
Yeah.
long.
Yeah.
And you're just sitting there, they're like, how does he have enough breath in his body?
Yeah.
Like, this is so
Like, who does he
crazy.
think he is? Virginia Woolf?
Well, and it's
Yeah,
also
yeah.
like with the Latin of it all, it's like the sentence
Mhm.
starts at the end. So it's like,
Yeah.
how do you even
You can't
think in that way?
you can't fully translate the entire sentence without knowing the verb that comes
like
at the
the last.
very end.
Yeah.
And you won't even know the subject or gender that they're speaking in
Yeah,
until
your
you hear
eyes
the
have to like
very-
meet in the middle. You're like reading from 2
You actually have
ends.
to read Latin cross-eyed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's why
That's
all
why it's
popes
so
look
hard.
like
You
that.
actually have to put on those 3D glasses to understand it. Yeah. The words like align perfectly.
It is, but yeah, it's just like it's always been that way.
Yeah.
Really. We've just
Yeah.
always been drawn to like performance art.
Oh, completely.
And like
completely.
our Latin teacher told us like they used to bring like their children in and like their families and they'd be like cry. Like cry. Like they were literally making them like child stars.
Yeah.
Yes, 100%.
Totally.
They're like they're fucking Shirley Temple doing a little jig on a table
Yeah.
for the judge. And they're like, you want to plead my parking ticket now?
Yeah, well, and
Yeah.
that's why it's no surprise that these two have gotten into it
Of
because
course.
it's just an
Yeah.
extension of what they already do, act and
It's theater.
form,
It's
yeah.
literally theater.
Yeah. And to your point, like the court of public opinion is just like
Yeah.
it's popularity contest.
Yeah,
I am
no,
really
literally.
curious to
Like,
see how this
it's-
nets out for both of them because I don't think either of them comes out of this looking good.
Certainly
No.
not.
Like,
Oh, no.
Certainly not.
Yeah.
I also don't think you fight this hard on either side if like one person is genuinely
Mm.
innocent.
Also,
you know what I mean?
Baldoni's
It's like,
suing for $400 million.
What?
Yeah, it's like, dude, she
because he
didn't
can't do his little
that
podcast
much.
anymore.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh god.
I would do the same.
Yeah.
I would do the same.
No, actually, I'm not better.
Yeah. 4 million to save
No.
floundering. For
If
sure.
you come for us, we will come at you with
I
the
say
full
drain the
extent of the law.
savings.
Yeah.
I get your dad on the track. I'm like, help.
My dad's like, sorry, I'm in Thailand. What's up?
Is your dad in Thailand right now?
Yeah, my I almost said my mom. My dad's
Whoa.
girlfriend sent me a photo like of him in this beautiful backdrop, and I was like,
Wow.
I was like, okay,
And,
well,
like she learned Photoshop.
yeah. I was like, it's cold here, so I guess I'm happy for you, but
Sure.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
Wow.
Side note,
Parks the jet ski and he's like, I can't make that work. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, yeah,
It's like
sorry.
the funds are not
Good
there
luck,
right now.
though.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna keep my flip or flop
Yeah.
pretty succinct for y'all.
Okay.
But I have been very stressed this
Mm.
new year. I feel like the
Oh,
new
I didn't know
year.
that.
Well, it's just,
I actually did know that because I could sense it.
yeah.
But I didn't want to like, you don't want to confide in me in that way.
No, but I like
Now you
little.
are.
I like giving you little hints. Yeah, in the way that I behave around you.
I
Or-
think it's like I want to like let me take on this stuff for floundering because like I feel like you're stressed,
yes. So
Mm.
you've picked up what I've.
and I hope that I'm performing adequately.
Oh, always. You're always exceeding expectations. Yeah, the rubric is off the charts.
Oh, good.
But it's interesting because when I'm not so stressed, I feel
Mm.
like my brain is really vacant when I sleep. Like I don't dream at all.
Oh.
When I'm really stressed, my dreams are like hyperactive.
Nosferatu.
And Oh, I'm sure
Body
there's
horror.
yes, body and gore, of
Yeah.
course. And it's like sometimes it's a stress dream, and then other times, like I feel like when I'm most stressed is when I have like those epic quest dreams too,
Yes.
where you wake up and you can like remember all of the character plot lines. It's like the beginning of an Ella
Yeah.
Ferrante novel where I'm like, there was 15 characters and here's how they were
There's
all
a map in the
connected.
beginning with a key.
But I've just been having these like, yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's a map of the Italian
Yeah, of the world.
Right.
Yeah.
unfurls. I've just been having these like very silly, goofy, hyper vivid dreams recently.
Wow.
Where and the good news is it's been like making me look forward to going to sleep because I'm like, at least at the
What
very
story
least
is going to unfold here?
I'll sleep heavily and I'll have like a nice little story to tell in the morning. But my most recent one, you sang Wicked in the beginning. In this dream, I
thought you meant in your dream. I was like, oh my God, cool.
in the opening,
Performed
yeah, in the
Wicked in
opening
her
act of the
dream.
dream, Carey is singing.
You
Wicked.
did. No one mourns the wicked.
No, in the opening act of Floundering, you performed a Wicked song
Yes, I
for
did.
a brief moment. But anyway, in this dream, I open up a community theater, and my subjects, my pupils, are all infants, and I'm putting on a community play of Wicked with infants.
Oh my
Okay,
God.
and who got
And
the
I
Linda?
literally woke up and I was like, Parker, write this down.
Oh
Like,
my God.
we're onto something. Imagine that.
How did you feel during the dream?
I felt in charge. And thank you for asking these dream probing questions. I
Yeah.
feel like you've been listening to this Jungian life.
No,
recently.
I think that's ultimately like the most important question about any dream is how did you feel during it?
I felt
Yeah.
fulfilled, and I felt in charge, and I felt
In charge of your infantry.
my infantry
Your
of infants.
infantry.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's so good.
And I like actively knew, you know, when you're like aware that something is not quite real while you're
Mhm.
dreaming.
Yeah.
In the moment, I was like, this is really funny. Like, this is so funny that I'm trying to get like
Yeah.
Elphaba, this baby, to like, you know, put on her dress. She can't walk. They're all like
Wheezing
on
her
their
into
backs
these
like little
little
mealworms.
dresses.
Yeah. So
Wow.
anyway, my flip is that my brain in the physical world is super stressed and tapped out, but in the dream world, it's up to some good stuff. So,
Wow.
and I feel very
I think you
grateful
found a
for
new
that.
direction in life.
Infant
You just started
movies,
community theater
baby
for,
movies.
for
Yeah.
infants.
There are people who have been thrown in
gonna
jail for far
disrupt.
less.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
need to be a child star wrangler. Is
Yeah.
what you need to be.
I'm like, I got an
yeah.
idea.
These kids, I got them.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my flip, my goofy little dreams.
Wow.
I
While
love
my active brain withers in plain sight, of course.
Mm.
So yeah.
Yeah, that is interesting that when nothing's going on, you don't tend to have dreams.
That is really interesting.
You know what it is though? I feel like my brain isn't turning off at
Mhm.
night. Like even if I'm sleeping, I'm probably not getting deep sleeps
Mhm.
actually,
Yeah.
but like because I'm so stressed about whatever, I feel like anytime I'm stressed, all of my other anxieties just pop up where there's not like one consistent thing I'm stressed about. It's just like my brain is hyper fixating on everything. And all of a sudden I'm just thinking about a lot of things at once.
Mm-hmm.
And thus I'm stressed. But anyway, I feel like when I go to sleep, my brain's not fully off. And so it's just
Yeah.
creating these
Yeah.
very vivid
Oh, it's very tough.
infant
It's-
landscapes.
Do you struggle to fall asleep? Is that like
Mm,
are you a heavy sleeper?
when I'm asleep, I'm a heavy sleeper.
Okay.
But it can take me a long time.
Oh, so
to
it's
fall
just like
asleep.
getting you there.
It's just getting there.
Is the tough thing.
Yeah.
Do you take like melatonin or anything like that?
I was a big melatonin gal until I heard all of this research about melatonin
That's, like, bad
impacting your
for
memory.
you. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Also,
But
talk,
you know-
talk about crazy dreams.
Oh, so oh my
Melatonin
God.
dreams are like,
Oh,
I have like 12 legs. And
Oh.
yeah,
Oh.
prison of the mind.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I
Prison
feel like
of the
we
mind.
all probably have like 3
Mhm.
like iconic dreams that we can bring to memory. And one of my
Yeah.
most iconic dreams was a NyQuil dream where I threw a celebrity pool party.
oh, who's
Wait,
there?
but that's fun. You have the most fun.
Yeah,
dreams.
like,
Oh my
that's
God,
like
literally
your Taylor
lively.
Swift.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine are all like there's a looming presence coming down
Yeah.
the hallway.
Mine are all, my dad shouldn't be in this room with me.
Right.
Why are you here?
The
Yeah.
feelings I'm feeling are loneliness.
The feelings I'm feeling
Yeah.
are, ew.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's how I feel.
Well, of course, I mean, we can save an entire other episode for my stress dreams, which are a horror landscape that
Terrifying.
are
To
not
me,
worth unpacking here.
being in
but-
a room where it's you and a bunch of infants and you're trying to teach them wicked,
Because that actually sounds like hell.
that's nightmare fuel.
That actually sounds like
Yeah.
hell. But I love that you felt fulfilled at the end of that
To
journey.
me, I'm picturing that scene in Harry Potter with the mandrakes. You know what I'm talking
Sure.
Oh yeah, where they're screaming.
Yeah, that's how I picture your
Yeah. Yes. There's the plants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's like you're actually just holding a
yeah.
baby up by its
my little
hair.
Cabbage Patch Kids.
And it's
Yeah.
screaming.
And it's screaming because
Yeah.
it's like, stop holding me by my hair,
Yeah.
please. Put me down. But
I am a root vegetable after all. Please.
And you're like,
Yeah.
you're
try
supposed
this.
to fly. You're Alphaba.
Yeah.
Supposed to fly.
Old space.
Yeah.
Damn it. Yeah. So that's my little flip.
Thank you
Wow.
for
You're
sharing.
so welcome.
I love. Did we
Great.
have 3 flips again?
Well, we had a flip and flop.
It was.
You
yeah,
had a
it was
flail.
fun.
Yeah.
had a
And then
flail.
mine was flip and yours was flip.
Yeah.
Wow, look at us.
I know we're on a streak, actually.
So, what do you think we should do?
I think that we have to ask the seminal text.
Okay, let's ask the question.
Okay.
And then we do a quick round of message in a bottle in
Mhm.
Literally rapid fire.
literally 10 minutes
Okay.
from now.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Do you want to go?
No, I did the other. I'm
I
scared.
want you to do it.
What?
'Cause
Okay.
You did it last time and it was so good.
Okay, fine. I'll do it. So, floundering. As we
Mhm.
all know, we don't know what the show is about.
We don't know
really.
much.
Okay.
We just know that we like to sit here and gab with each other.
Yes.
But as we've become more practiced in the art of podcasting,
Mhm.
we've learned that the whole theme here is that we like to have strong opinions and points of view on things that we know very little about.
Yeah.
An example that we often cite is Carl Jung. We spend no fewer than 30 minutes an episode talking about the work of Carl Jung.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And we know about Carl Jung because we listened to half of one podcast episode about him one time.
Right.
Correct.
And I have read a couple pages of Memories, Dreams, Reflections.
Of course, yes. And I do love Google image searching him every now and then because he's a goofy looking character.
Yeah.
And I actually did read a very interesting book about Carl Jung earlier last year called I forget what it was called, but it was about synchronicities and it was very, very dense. So now I feel like I'm sort of negating the whole purpose of this podcast, but continue.
Sure.
Yeah.
Another example is, like in elementary school, I was like vehemently obsessed with dolphins. Like
Yeah.
anything dolphin related,
Anything
like
dolphins.
it struck a chord with me. So we want to know, like, what is that for you? If you were to like sit us down and teach us a class in something,
Okay.
what would that class be?
No, this is a perfect question. Okay, so first of all, it would be coded under sociology slash anthropology.
Okay.
Thank
Falls
God
under-
for that.
Falls under both. works
And
for
Lord
both
knows I would
natures.
be on the page right when
Yes.
classes came out so that
Scrolling.
I could get in.
Yep.
Mhm.
Because-
Literally refreshing the page every 5
Yeah.
seconds.
Yep.
And-
Because it fills up.
Yeah, it would be okay. So it would be sociology, anthropology, 207, special topics in gossip.
Oh,
Yeah.
She's me. Yeah.
Yeah, chisme. We would be talking I'm talking interculturalism.
Mhm.
Sure.
I'm talking history. I'm talking from a 4 subfield anthropological perspective. Where
yes.
Wow.
we're pulling in the biological standpoint where there are different primate species where they have a hierarchy. It's chimps, I believe. They're one of our closest primate relatives, and they have a hierarchy of who is allowed to groom who. Like who is
Mm.
allowed to pick bugs off of the other person's back. They literally, primatologists have studied this. It's a real thing. They literally have no, I don't want Becky picking bugs off my back.
Well, because think
Wow.
about that. That's a lot of one-on-one time with Becky.
Yeah, no, literally. It's like it takes a
It's like
long
she's
time.
kind of a
she
bitch.
brings nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, truly.
She's
She brings
silent.
nothing and she's dry as hell.
Yeah. I don't crusty Becky picking my fucking back.
She's dry as all fuck and her hands are so dirty.
Yeah.
And because she's a chimp.
Because that's
They're
sort
digging in the dirt.
They do be having hands though,
Yeah.
they
which
have
is so crazy.
Those are
fingers.
dexterous little hands.
and they even have
Dexterous.
these little what I don't even know what these are called.
the
don't
creases
know
in
either.
between their
Crease-
nuts.
is
Yeah,
that-
they
have
just have
the-
very.
they have like the knuckle creases.
Yeah, they got knuckles on
Yeah.
them.
It really is crazy.
I
It
love
takes
them.
Wait, so does that have to do
Mhm.
with is there an exchange of information that happens during those grooming sessions?
well with those, it's not because they're not communicating orally, obviously.
Right.
It's more
There's
of
Morse
just,
code on the back.
Yeah, they're literally they're going, Becky took my yogurt out of the fridge and
I even labeled it. It was mine.
it was mine. What a bitch. And it's like, I think if I had to speak from pure conjecture here, I would say that it is likely more sexual viability motivated
Oh.
because a lot of primate social groups function mainly around sex
Yep.
and sexual viability. So like there are different species. I think gorillas are, I forget the word for it, but it's one husband, multiple wives, and then there's
Harem.
polygamy.
Polygamy.
And then there are some primate species where it's polyandry, where it's a direct inverse of that. So if I had to give a guess, I would say it's the most maybe sexually viable primates that are picking bugs off of each other, and they see each other as, it's also like a dominance thing probably.
Yep.
It's like, are you at my level
Yep.
psychologically? Like, can you handle what I'm putting down?
Right.
Yeah.
Is
It's
if I had
so
to
they're
guess.
so good about like reading the vibes.
Yeah.
Like they know about vibes more than we do.
No, they totally
probably.
do. Yeah.
Have you seen that? There's like this documentary on Netflix about like birds. Like I forget what it's
Ah.
called, but it's like about birds and their like mating rituals.
Yeah.
And it is so it's
Mhm.
a perfectly made like documentary because they use like narration and music to like really enhance like the experience,
Yeah.
and like the cameras obviously are really like zoomed in
Mhm.
and good. But it's like, whoa, like they're like communicating like very intricately
No,
Oh, yeah.
literally.
in these interactions.
We'll talk about refreshing class schedules. I
Mhm.
took the same class twice at Wesleyan, and it
Nice.
was all about like sex and animal behavior.
Yeah.
And I gave an entire presentation about an
Mhm.
albatross species that has sex with the opposite
Mhm.
sex, but then will rear children in same-sex couples.
Yeah.
So these albatross, it's like female albatross
Mhm.
mating with a male albatross, and then two female albatross raising the young.
Wow.
And the
Yeah.
men just spread their seed.
Is
But
it-
I was honestly like, that's
Probably
a
how it should be.
pretty ideal arrangement,
Yeah.
actually.
Literally.
Yeah.
like, isn't it so interesting that just,
Co-parent
like,
with my
this-
girl?
Yeah, the sexual fluidity of just
Mhm.
like
Totally.
Going back to
the-
that, there's more bi people than
no, literally, there are
Absolutely.
more bisexuals out there. Boys,
boys.
men,
Where you at?
come out already.
Yeah.
They are obvious with it, even if they don't think that
Yeah.
they're being obvious.
Oh my god, there is like another there was another comedian that we know. Like, and this is part of the special topics in gossip course, is learning how to gossip without truly gossiping. And he gave me a hug and like a side hug thing, and then just kind of left his hand on my lower back for like a solid minute.
See, this transcends
it.
animal species.
And
I'm like, the hand on the lower back rested anywhere.
Yeah.
The chimp hand
We're having
on the
sex.
shoulder.
Yeah.
Right.
Someone wants to bone.
Yeah.
Right.
It's as
yeah.
simple as that.
Totally. And it was just there, and it wasn't like just resting because there was
It was-
nowhere
it
else
was-
to go.
No.
Like
Is
that.
it where it's wanted? It's
No,
where
'cause
it wanted to
it's
be.
It's where
where
it wants to be.
it's where it was exactly drawn to be. And might I say, I have a very tight little lower back. So
Yeah.
I'm sure you do.
yeah, I was like, yeah, touch away. Like that. You're gonna like it.
Yeah.
You're
Right,
gonna
I get
scare
it.
yourself. But yeah, so
The real litmus test is if he would go up to Carey and put his hand on her shoulder. It's like, does this guy just have an eye for the right
Oh.
part of the body?
yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
yeah.
know. I don't think you would. People aren't touching my shoulders.
No, he wants the male lower back.
Yeah.
This specific
The
character.
male lower back,
Yeah.
the specific guy, probably.
I mean, it's a great spot.
It's a sensual space.
Yeah.
Of
It's so
course.
sensual.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that would be my course, is special topics and gossip. Obviously, there would be more, but that's just a little teaser.
God, I would love to take that
Love
class from
that.
you.
Symposium.
Yes,
think
because there is such cultural currency to
Yes.
gossip.
Mhm.
And
Yes.
the people who inherit gossip
Mhm.
are high on that hierarchy. It's people who are
Yes.
either very good at forging bonds
Mhm.
or people who are often trusted with information.
Yeah, well,
Like-
that's the thing too. Is I think with the chimps, it's also survival.
Yes.
It's like, are you going to have my back?
Yes.
And who do I trust to do that? So I think I'd take the trust thing over like sexual viability. I think I'd put that like way down on possibilities. But I think that is more like, do you have my back in a fight
yes.
situation? And I had something else, and then it completely flew out of my brain. But I did take a class like that. I took sex and reproduction in our species
Ooh.
as like an anthropology class. And
The thesis was all men are bi.
yes, yeah, that was exactly it. No, I actually did. Does sex actually sell? And I
Mm.
kind of talk about this
Oh.
in my podcast, actually, if you guys listen to it in the sex work episode that we just did. But basically, the answer is a little more complex than you might initially think.
Wow, I'm hooked.
Get into it. Season 2, episode 1.
I've always said that.
And I've
It's
always
a
said
great
that.
show.
Thank
It's
you.
so well
Thank you
researched,
so
so
much.
engaging.
We try our
Your big boy brain
darndest.
is
It's kind of like the
working very
opposite of this
hard.
show.
I know, seriously.
No, but I like this.
I think the
because
hook is, do you want to come be stupid for like an hour 15?
And
literally.
it's actually perfect because I need to turn my brain off. It's
And
so
we are
loud.
here to do that.
It's so loud.
Yeah.
Wait, but side note, because the
Mhm.
thing about the chimps reminded me, because I was reading this book
Mm-hmm.
that said, so like you said, chimps are like the closest like analogy
Yeah.
to humans in like the animal
Mhm.
world. And like, I'm pretty sure I'm phrasing this correctly. Like
Yeah.
humans have, there's like a 1.1% differential in like the brain capacity of
Yes.
chimps versus humans. So humans are
Mhm.
only 1.1% smarter than
Mhm.
chimps. So when you think about like, what if there was a species that was 1.1% smarter than us?
Oh.
Scary thought.
Scary thought.
is
Scary thought.
for-
Actually, I think
yeah.
that might be elephants.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
so
yeah.
fucking smart.
Atlantic bottlenose dolphins. My
Dolphins.
God, they're
Probably
sharp.
those.
They're so scary smart. Their
Yeah.
The whales,
brains
too.
are insane.
Yes. Orcas,
Mm-hmm.
sharks are dumb as bricks.
Yeah,
But
they are.
They have the
as
muscle.
they should be.
Yeah.
As they literally should be.
They're the frat bros of the
I was
ocean.
going to say they're hot and dumb.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
they're probably all bi.
Of
Like-
course. Yeah, absolutely.
So we have to wrap this thing up. Unfortunately, we have 2 minutes left. So craning my neck to see
Uh-huh.
time
Yeah.
over here.
I'm forcing you to introduce
Okay, I'm doing
our
it.
closing segment.
So our closing segment is called Message in a Bottle.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a little moment that we use to just send a love note out into the universe, a note of gratitude for something that we saw in our day or just something that we want to
Yeah.
shout out.
I literally got like chills when you described that. Just the way you said that. It's just, God, you're so good with words.
Oh my God.
'Cause,
That's so funny.
There's I think if I had to write like a little love note, I would say to like the New York restaurant scene.
Mm.
I passed so
Wait,
many
that's so
restaurants on my way here. I love supporting a small business. So this is my vice. I love ordering takeout.
Oh,
Me too.
It's like a huge thing.
It's a huge thing.
I love ordering takeout. I love the food here, and I'm obsessed with.
I
trying
love
new
Chick-fil-A.
dishes. I
I love
the New
small
York City
businesses.
food. I love
I love a
Small
I
small
love the
business.
vibrant small business.
My
I
favorite
love
small
a
business,
Chili's triple dipper.
Walmart. But
Yeah,
they-
the Costco
yeah.
hot dogs.
Yeah, the Costco hot dogs.
My God.
The Costco chicken bake. Yes, exactly. And that's I would write a little love letter to just all the small businesses out there. I love you all. Keep doing the amazing things that you're doing.
Oh, I love it. Any favorite one that you've been
And-
to recently?
Oh wow. Well, I just purely off the top of my head, I ordered from this Thai spot that I really like in Vidai that's like around the corner from my office, and
Yum.
it's so good, and they have like really good lunch combos.
Mm,
It's called a Roy D Thai. Please check it out. It's on John Street.
amazing.
We plug
Close to my
small
house,
businesses
too.
here.
Yeah.
So if you want Thai food, go there. If you want chicken, we got Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
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 And Costco, I'm sure will like drone drop you something. No worries.
Definitely.
yeah.
A chicken bake. Just
Yeah.
Good
I
job.
love a
Yeah.
chicken bake.
A military
Chicken bake.
tank will come and and drop it off for you.
Cool. Should I go?
Yeah, your
Yeah.
turn.
Absolutely.
Wait, I forget what mine is. Oh, shoot. Can you go?
I'll go.
Okay, I'll
Because mine's
remember it.
related to food.
Okay,
My
go.
message in a bottle goes out to butter beans.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I've been having soup with butter beans in them recently. Nothing will
Wow.
make you feel like, even if it is prepared for you, like you are eating a soup that you prepared for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Like you feel like you procured those beans, that
Yeah.
you soaked them. They're hearty, they're yummy. And they make
Mhm.
soup kind of also feel like a paste every now and then too, which is nice. Like I had a butter bean based soup that I felt like I could spread on a crostini and it would
Yes.
be delicious.
Wait, I want you to bring me some
Of course,
That
anything
sounds
for
so
you,
good.
me darling.
because everyone I follow on TikTok like makes beans in some way. Like
Well, beans are having
a
such a moment.
Yeah.
They they're having such a moment. And butter beans, I will say, like for all of the media frenzy around them, are worth the hype. In a
I
major
believe
way.
you.
Wow.
They
I don't
look
think I've ever
good.
had them before.
They're just like big,
Just like a
yummy.
fat bean.
They're a fat bean. Big old fat bean.
Ooh, a fat bean.
I'm so good with
Big ol'
words.
thick
It's a
bean.
big old fat
Ooh.
bean.
Yeah, juicy old bean.
I just got like chills in my big boy brain.
In my big boy brain.
My big boy brain.
My big boy type. Okay.
My big boy butter bean.
So you're gonna bring me butter beans, thank you.
Yes, of course.
Okay, I remembered mine.
Yeah.
My message in a bottle goes out to my wisdom of the East desk calendar.
Love.
It's a daily
Perfect.
calendar that my mother got me because she knows I'm mentally unwell. And every day has like a quote from like, you know, an ancient philosopher of the
Sure.
East. And they've just been so many little nuggets have really
I'm
been
going to eviscerate you.
Yeah.
Confucius.
Confucius. Yeah, he famously said that. No, but there have just been so many good ones, and they're always reminding me about like, you know, the deeper sort of truths that we should use to guide our experience. And I've been trying to be more present recently. And there was one that was like, this is gonna sound so lame on this podcast, but it was like the butterfly.
Continue.
It was like
This is good.
it was like the butterfly counts in moments, not months, and has enough time yet.
Oh, that's beautiful. Can't
And I was like, wait, yeah, I am kind of like a butterfly in that way.
Yeah, we
Oh
need
my
to be more
God.
present that way.
No, that's perfect. I'm sorry. No, that's so good.
No,
I love
it is funny though. Like
Mhm.
that's ridiculous, but also
Yeah.
it does help me. So
Yeah, but grounding.
Mhm.
it's
Grounding all the same.
and it's like a lot of them say the same thing, but like worded slightly differently.
Sure.
Mm.
So it's like, wow, there's a lot of different ways to really get at these
Of course.
profound universal truths.
Yes.
So
that are tucked away in the wings of a butterfly.
they are tucked away.
Or in the back of a chimp.
Or in the
Back of a
back
chimp
of
to
a
be
chimp.
picked out.
Yeah. Or under the, beanie of a big boy brain, for instance.
Yes.
Or under
There's
a
so
butter
many
Or in
little
the soup of a
nuggets.
butterbean.
Yeah.
Or in the deep soup of a butterbean. What's to say?
You can
Well,
find them anywhere.
on that note, Chase, what
Where can
an
people find you?
honor. Where can
Yeah.
people find you?
Thank you so much. It's been such an honor to be here, first of all. I've loved every second of this. People can find me on the old Instagram until it's banned by the government.
No.
Sorry, I'm strapping on my tinfoil hat. but You can find me at Chase A. Hoffman. And
Okay,
I
fine.
also, sorry, can I plug my podcast?
Please
Please.
plug.
Crazy. It's called And I've Always Said That. It's streaming on all platforms. It's me and my bestie girl Shannon, and we just kind of pick a different topic for each episode, and we research the hell out of it. And
You guys do so much work.
we do like
Truly
a
the
deep
polar opposite
dive
of what we have going on.
And you
Also,
know what?
Shannon-
That's
Wandering
okay.
LLC.
Talk about a person who is doing the work on themselves. Like,
Yes.
she is doing it, and she's
Oh, in a
doing
huge
it in a
way.
big way.
Yes,
Yeah.
in a huge way. And I'm
Gotta
so proud of
respect.
her every
Yeah.
step of that journey. Yeah, so check it out. It's at And I've Always Said That on Instagram. It's also in the bio of my Instagram if you check that out there.
It's a fantastic show.
Thank
I
you
love it so much.
much.
And we share the studio space. I feel so
Yeah,
cosmically
we've
connected
Yeah.
to you.
record at the same studio.
Yeah.
Literally.
Bonded
great.
forever.
Yeah.
All right. Well, on that
cool.
note, we
Thanks
love
for
you.
joining. Love you.
Bye.
Bye.